Parashah 2, Noah, Noah. Genesis chapter 6, verse 9 through chapter 11, verse 32. Here's the history of Noah. In his generation, Noah was a man, righteous and wholehearted. Noah walked with God. Noah fathered 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth was corrupt before God. The earth was filled with violence. God saw the earth, and yes, it was corrupt, for all living beings had corrupted their ways on the earth. God said to Noah, "The end of all living beings has come before me, for because of them the earth is filled with violence. I will destroy them along with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. You are to make the ark with rooms and cover it with pitch, both outside and inside. Here is how you are to build it. The length of the ark is to be 450 feet, its width 75 feet, and its height 45 feet. You are to make an opening for daylight in the ark, 18 inches below its roof. Put a door in its side and build it with lower, second, and third decks. Then I myself will bring the flood of water over the earth to destroy from under the heaven every living thing that breathes. Everything on earth will be destroyed, but I will establish my covenant with you. You will come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. From everything living, from each kind of living being, you are to bring 2 into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They are to be male and female. Of each kind of bird, each kind of livestock, and each kind of animal creeping on the ground, 2 are to come to you, so that they can be kept alive. Also take from all the kinds of food that are eaten, and collect it for yourself. It is to be food for you and for them. This is what Noah did. He did all that God ordered him to do. Chapter 7. Hashem said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, for I have seen that you alone in this generation are righteous before me. Of every clean animal you are to take 7 couples, and of the animals that are not clean, 1 couple. Also of the birds in the air take 7 couples, in order to preserve their species throughout the earth. For in 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. I will wipe out every living thing that I have made from the face of the earth." Noah did all that Hashem ordered him to do. Noah was 600 years old when the water flooded the earth. Noah went into the ark with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives because of the floodwaters. Of clean animals, of animals that are not clean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the ground, couples, male and female, went into Noah in the ark, as God had ordained Noah. After 7 days, the water flooded the earth. On the 17th day of the 2nd month, the 600th year of Noah's life, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. It rained on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. On that same day, Noah entered the ark with Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons accompanying them. They and every animal of every species, all the livestock of every species, every animal that creeps on the ground of every species, and every bird of every species, all sorts of winged creatures. They went into Noah in the ark, couples from every kind of living thing that breathes. Those that entered went in, male and female, from every kind of living being, as God had ordered him, and Hashem shut them inside. The flood was 40 days on the earth. The water grew higher and floated the ark, so that it was lifted up off the earth. The water overflowed the earth and grew deeper until the ark floated on the surface of the water. The water overpowered the earth mightily. All the high mountains under the entire sky were covered. The water covered the mountains by more than 22.5 feet. All living beings that moved on the earth perished: birds, livestock, other animals, insects, and every human being, everything in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life. Whatever was on dry land died. He wiped out every living thing on the surface of the ground, not only human beings, but livestock, creeping animals, and birds in the air. They were wiped out from the earth. Only Noah was left, along with those who were with him in the ark. The water held power over the earth for 150 days. Chapter 8. God remembered Noah, every living thing, and all the livestock with him in the ark. So God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the water began to go down. Also, the fountains of the deep and the windows of the sky were stopped. The rain from the sky was restrained, and the water came back from completely covering the earth. It was after 150 days that the water went down. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The water kept going down until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen. After 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark which he had built, and he sent out a raven which flew back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had gone from the surface of the ground. But the dove found no place for her feet to rest, so she returned to him in the ark, because the water still covered the whole earth. He put out his hand, took her, and brought her into him in the ark. He waited another 7 days and again sent the dove out from the ark. The dove came in to him in the evening, and there in her mouth was a freshly plucked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the water had cleared from the earth. He waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove, and she didn't return to him anymore. By the first day of the first month of the 601st year, the water had dried up from off the earth. So Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and yes, the surface of the ground was dry. It was on the 27th day of the second month that the earth was dry. God said to Noah, "Go out from the ark, you, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing you have with you, birds, livestock, and every animal that creeps on the earth, so that they can swarm on the earth, be fruitful, and multiply on the earth." So Noah went out with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. Every animal, every creeping thing, and every bird, whatever moves on the earth, according to their families, went out of the ark. Noah built an altar to Hashem. Then he took from every clean animal and every clean bird, and he offered burnt offerings on the altar. Hashem smelled the sweet aroma, and Hashem said in his heart, "I will never again curse the ground because of humankind. Since the imaginings of a person's heart are evil from his youth, nor will I ever again destroy all living things as I have done. So long as the earth exists, sowing time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night will not cease." Chapter 9. God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. The fear and dread of you will be upon every wild animal, every bird in the air, every creature populating the ground, and all the fish in the sea. They have been handed over to you. Every moving thing that lives will be food for you. Just as I gave you green plants before, so now I give you everything. Only flesh with its life, which is its blood, you are not to eat. I will certainly demand an accounting for the blood of your lives. I will demand it from every animal and from every human being. I will demand from every human being an accounting for the life of his fellow human being. Whoever sheds human blood, by a human being will his own blood be shed, for God made human beings in his image. And you people, be fruitful, multiply, swarm on the earth and multiply on it." God spoke to Noah and his sons with him. He said, "As for me, I am herewith establishing my covenant with you, with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the livestock, and every wild animal with you, all going out of the ark, every animal on earth. I will establish my covenant with you, that never again will all living beings be destroyed by the waters of a flood, and there will never again be a flood to destroy the earth. God added, here is the sign of the covenant I am making between myself and you and every living creature with you for all generations to come. I am putting my rainbow in the cloud. It will be there as a sign of the covenant between myself and the earth. Whenever I bring clouds over the earth and the rainbow is seen in the cloud, I will remember my covenant, which is between myself and you and every living creature of any kind, and the water will never again become a flood to destroy all living beings. The rainbow will be in the cloud, so that when I look at it, I will remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of any kind on the earth. God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between myself and every living creature on the earth. The sons of Noah who went out from the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham is the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and the whole earth was populated by them. Noah, a farmer, was the first to plant a vineyard. He drank so much of the wine that he got drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father shamefully exposed, went out and told his two brothers. Shem and Japheth took a cloak, put it over both their shoulders, and walking backward, went in and covered their naked father. Their faces were turned away so that they did not see their father lying there, shamefully exposed. When Noah awoke from his wine, he knew what his youngest son had done to him. He said, cursed be Canaan. He will be a servant of servants to his brothers. Then he said, blessed be Hashem, the God of Shem. Canaan will be their servant. May God enlarge Japheth. He will live in the tents of Shem, but Canaan will be their servant. After the flood, Noah lived 350 years. In all, Noah lived 950 years. Then he died. Chapter 10. Here is the genealogy of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Yavan, Tuval, Meshech, and Teras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Raphat, Garma. The sons of Yavan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. From these, the islands of the nations were divided into their lands, each according to its language, according to their families in their nations. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mitzrayim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Sheva, Havilah, Satah, Ramah, and Svatkah. The sons of Ramah were Sheva and Dedan. Cush fathered Nimrod, who was the first powerful ruler on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Hashem. This is why people say, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before Hashem. His kingdom began with Bavel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. Ashur went out from that land and built Nineveh, the city Rehovot, Kelech, and Rezen between Nineveh and Kelech. That one is the great city. Mitzrayim fathered the Ludim, the Anamim, the Lahavim, and the Naphtuhim, the Patrusim, the Kasluchim, from whom came the Plistim, and the Kaphtorim. Canaan fathered Zidon, his firstborn, Het, the Yevusi, the Amori, the Girgashi, the Hivai, the Arkai, the Sini, the Arvadi, the Tzamari, and the Hamati. Afterwards, the families of the Canaanite were dispersed. The border of the Canaanite was from Sidon as you go toward Gerar, Gaza, as you go towards Sodom, Amorah, Admah, and Zeboim to Lasha. These were the descendants of Ham according to their families and languages, in their lands, in their nations. Children were also born to Shem, ancestor of all the descendants of Eber and older brother of Yaphath. The sons of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arpachshad, Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uts, Hul, Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad fathered Shalach, and Shalach fathered Eber. To Eber were born two sons. One was given the name Peleg, meaning division, because during his lifetime the earth was divided. His brother's name was Yoktan. Yoktan fathered Almodad, Shaleh, Hatzar Mavet, Yerach, Hadaram, Uzal, Diklah, Oval, Avamael, Shavah, Ophir, Habilah, and Yovav. All these were the sons of Yoktan. Their territory stretched from Mesha, as you go towards Safar, to the mountain in the east. These were the descendants of Shem, according to their families and languages, in their lands and in their nations. These were the families of the sons of Noach, according to their generations, in their nations. From these, the nations of the earth were divided up after the flood. Chapter 11. The whole earth used the same language, same words. It came about that as they traveled from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and lived there. They said to one another, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them in the fire." So they had bricks for building stone and clay for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let's build ourselves a city with a tower that has its top reaching up into heaven, so that we can make a name for ourselves and not be scattered all over the earth." Hashem came down to see the city and the tower the people were building. Hashem said, "Look, the people are united. They all have a single language, and see what they are starting to do. At this rate, nothing they set out to accomplish will be impossible for them. Come, let's go down and confuse their language, so that they won't understand each other's speech." So from there, Hashem scattered them all over the earth, and they stopped building the city. For this reason, it is called Bavel, meaning confusion, because there Hashem confused the language of the whole earth, and from there Hashem scattered them all over the earth. Here's the genealogy of Shem. Shem was 100 years old when he fathered Arpachshad, 2 years after the flood. After Arpachshad was born, Shem lived another 500 years and had sons and daughters. Arpachshad lives 35 years and fathered Shalach. After Shalach was born, Arpachshad lived another 403 years and had sons and daughters. Shalach lived 30 years and fathered Eber. After Eber was born, Shalach lived another 403 years and had sons and daughters. Eber lived 34 years after fathering Peleg. After Peleg was born, Eber lived another 430 years and had sons and daughters. Peleg lived 30 years and fathered Reu. After Reu was born, Peleg lived another 209 years and had sons and daughters. Reu lived 32 years and fathered Shrug. After Shrug was born, Reu lived another 207 years and had sons and daughters. Shrug lived 30 years and fathered Nachor. After Nachor was born, Shrug lived another 200 years and had sons and daughters. Nachor lived 29 years and fathered Terach. After Terach was born, Nachor lived another 119 years and had sons and daughters. Terach lived 70 years and fathered Avram, Nachor, and Haran. Here is the genealogy of Terach. Terach fathered Avram, Nachor, and Haran fathered Lot. Haran died before his father Terach in the land where he was born, in Ur of the Kasdim. Then Avram and Nachor took wives for themselves. The name of Avram's wife was Sarai. The name of Nachor's wife was Milcah, the daughter of Haran. He was the father of Milcah and of Yishka. Sarai was barren, she had no child. Terah took his son Abram, his son Haran's son Lot, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they left Ur of the Kasdim to go to the land of Canaan. But when they came to Haran, they stayed there. Terah lived 205 years, and he died in Haran.